messenger and the accepted meaning of destiny is to make firm establish. So my guests and I bring you messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And also, I like working with angels and the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I'll introduce you to my wonderful guest, Joanna Sapir. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching the show live or at a later date, as it means a lot to me to connect with like-minded women. Now, if you've never met me before, then my name is Ray, and I love to help women to crossroads in their life, heal their past, create their future, and transform their present so they can take charge of their destiny in the here and now. I'm the founder of Radiant Angel Energy, and I use angelic Reiki, future life progression, past life regression, angel oracle cards, guided meditation, and hypnosis to help women who feel lost get clear on their reason for being here. And I've also created a transformational journey to help you take charge of your destiny and a journey through lifetimes. Now, each episode of the show will cover various themes of your journey, a mini guided meditation or angel oracle card reading with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's guest, Joanna Sapir, about how to create the business and the life you want. Now, Joanna has been a teacher and mentor for more than 20 years, from the classroom to the gym floor and now to businesses across the world. She works with wellness practitioners that are doing initiative and transformational work in their fields on the business side of things. Now, Joanna has a special ability to create easy to follow systems and processes to help her clients attract long-term clients, create predictable income, and finally have a smooth, streamlined, and profitable business. A San Francisco Bay native, she now lives in Sonoma County, is the mother of two teenage sons, and is a national champion Olympic-style weightlifter, which we've got to find out more about. Now, with testimonials like, there's often so many things to do, and how do you decide what's most important? Joanna helped set those priorities for me, and I followed Joanna's steps, and it was seamless to say yes. It was so exciting, and her insight into what I needed to move forward was specific, direct, and personal. So, without further delay, hello, Joanna, and welcome to the Angels and Destiny Show. How are you today?
Hi, Ray. I'm great, and it's great to be here.
Brilliant. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you that you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Joanna and I want you to be part of this conversation. So please don't be shy. And because this is my 100th episode of the show, and it's International Women's Day today, I've decided that anyone who watches this show today or watches the replay up until Friday and comments will actually have the chance to go into a draw where I'm going to offer 10 Angel Oracle card readings for those people that have commented. So please do comment, please do share. So Joanna, why don't you tell us more about yourself and how we can create the business and the life that we want?
Well, that's a big question. First, I just have to say I love that I can see the comments, and I really thrive off that kind of interaction. So those of you guys watching, hi. And please do drop comments or questions. I really enjoy that kind of interaction. So my name is Joanna Sapir, and as Ray just said in the bio, I've sort of had a span of careers in my lifetime, which actually are all threaded together, though many people may not realize that. So I was a high school history teacher for 10 years, and then I started my first business kind of out of the blue with no experience in business whatsoever, not from an entrepreneurial family, very much from an academic family. And I started this business and just jumped in and went, this is what I want to do. I have this passion for providing this service for people. Let's do it. And I made all the mistakes that somebody jumping into business that doesn't know how to run a business makes. I mean, truly, like very, very major mistakes. So I had lots of highs and lots of lows. And it was through that first business that I really came to understand the systems needed to build a profitable and sustainable business. So by profitable, I mean making more money than the business needs, and that includes the owner's salary and any staff you have. And by sustainable, I mean a business that doesn't rely on you to be there running everything, a business that you can step away from, and it still continues to run and grow even without you, the owner. So I eventually sold that business in 2017 and moved into the work I do now, which really to me is bringing together my teaching background and the background running that business. And I teach specifically wellness practitioners who are doing really neat, integrative, holistic work. And I teach them how to run their businesses because they are folks that are just like I was, which is super passionate about the service they provide and really, really good at providing the service, but not actually, not so good yet anyway at learning how to run the business side of things. And so that's what I help people with is the processes to make business smooth and profitable.
Excellent. Yeah, it's brilliant because we do quite often go into businesses and go, oh, I'm not sure what I should. Okay, what am I supposed to do today? No, should I be doing that tomorrow? No, I'll do it today. No, I'll do it tomorrow. And it can get really, really confusing. So any help that anyone can offer is absolutely brilliant.
Right. So I find that people fall into two camps when they come to me anyway. So there are the folks who are struggling to get enough clients and to make enough money, really, to kind of sustain the business. And then there are the folks who have gotten completely overly booked and have this business where they're entirely working in the business in client-facing operations and not actually running the business. So in both cases, especially that second one, it's really more of a job than being a business owner is what they have, is a job. And that's what I help them move into is business ownership and leadership of their business. And that takes a lot of shifts. And that's kind of what the title of this show is those courageous moves, because a lot of the things that a person needs to do to make their business right and make their business, support the lifestyle they want takes courage, because there are pieces to it that can feel scary. And I think if there's anything I've learned in my life, like I have many, many really interesting examples of how it is making courageous moves. It's doing things that are scary and completely outside of your comfort zone that kind of break you through to that next level or break you through to that next place that you want to be, or that maybe you didn't even know you wanted to be, but you find yourself there and it is truly a next level of, happiness and joy and success. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because it's been coming up from the last couple of weeks. Various people I've spoken to, podcasts I've listened to, shows, etc. That a lot of people have been talking about getting out of your comfort zone. It's really seems to be a big thing at the moment, whether it's because of everything that's been happening and now people have been in this cocoon for a long while and they're now suddenly going to be emerging again. But maybe that's why that energy is coming up, that people need to get out of their comfort zone.
I almost think that the global pandemic I think that itself pushed people out of their comfort zones. There's so many shifts, right? And so I think that's shaken things up for people and helped people actually see new possibilities in their lives. I hope so anyway, Yeah,
I think so, because I've been seeing people that have been coming to see me, they've been wanting future life progression because they've they want to make that change now. They've suddenly thought, actually, there's more to life than just going to work 9 to 5. What can I do in the future? So yeah, people are really stepping out and are going, yeah, actually, that life for me, let's do something different.
Right. And so, and so this is where, the courage piece comes in, is it's very easy to lean back on just the habits and the rhythms that we have in our life that just kind of keep us where we are. I remember, this must be 15 years ago or so. When I was what ended up being my last year of teaching, but I had no idea it would be my last year. This was the career I had chosen. It was absolutely my calling. I absolutely felt very fulfilled as a teacher. Unlike many people who go into business ownership or become entrepreneurs, I was not running from cubicle life, and I wasn't running from a career that I didn't want. But I did feel like there was something missing. And I began to get curious about what it was. And right around that time, I found fitness. That was when I found fitness. And all I did was, well, so I had just had two babies. I had just had two babies. Here's the transition I was in my life. Had these babies, and I split up with their father right after the second one was born. So that's big. That's a big thing,
Yeah.
right? Family unit broken up, and so shortly after that, I went, okay, newly single. I've just had a baby. I'm gonna go get in shape, is what I thought. And I was very turned off to the idea of what I thought of as gyms. I had never belonged to a gym, but I had played sports my whole life, so I was, physically active, but not a gym goer. So I found this spot where it was not like a gym. I found this place where we did this style of fitness training that felt like games and fun to me. And I actually felt like I was rediscovering myself after, I had 10 years of teaching and becoming a mother, and you become pretty consumed, right, with other people's stuff, serving others. And I felt like I found me again. And I felt like it was tapping into who I had been as a child, who I really was. And that was what awoke in me this idea of, what do I really want? So going back to like perhaps the pandemic shaking people up a bit, what do I really want? And it's funny, I found some journaling exercise in a book completely by chance that just had me like, list all these areas of life. It was like your home space and your food and just all this, just these basic things. And like, what's your vision? Like, what do you actually want? So I started to write down all these things I wanted. And there was something in the act of writing it down that I went, I want to have this. I want this. And there were little things in it like, I want to be able to eat breakfast with my kids every day, which I couldn't do in my current career. And I said, I want to work with my students outside of the classroom, outside the walls. I want to be outdoors and active. And I wrote all this stuff down, and it just opened up for me. What if I just did this? And somehow I made the decision, okay, I'm going to do this. And I actually sold my house. I gave notice for the end of the year. I finished off my year, my school year, that is. And I sold my house and I moved to a new county with these two young children alone, where I knew no one, to start a brand new life. And that was actually, I never had intended to start the business that I did, but the business I started was a fitness business. And that's what came out of that. And so that was just one of many, the barriers disappeared. Thank you, Graham. That's exactly it. It's like, having the vision and being willing to follow the vision and see where it may take you. Again, I never had a vision of getting into business. It just was not like part of my family culture. It was not part of a dream or aspiration. That happened to come out of wanting to I basically moved to this new area, and there was no place to do the kind of fitness training that I had been doing where I lived before, which I thought had changed my life and had been so beneficial, and I wanted to bring it to people. So those kind of courageous moves, I think that is what, on the one hand, in the work that I do now with business owners, I'm providing very step-by-step systems for them. That's really where I excel in helping people. And yet, what has to be underneath it for anyone to be successful in, putting in place systems and systematizing their businesses is that courage. It's just the number one thing that has to be in place is courage. And all of us have courage. I think sometimes we look at others, right, and we think, oh, they're so brave or they're so strong. But all courage is not feeling brave and not feeling strong and deciding you're going to go do it anyway. Like, that's all it is. You just make it happen. It's not a quality somebody has or doesn't. It's a quality you make, in any moment. You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So going to the gym, because I do know that, where is it Nicole actually asked this. Olympic weightlifting, you're a badass chick. I'm honoured to hear from you. So, weightlifting, if that's
Yeah,
not courageous, then what is?
yeah, it's a fantastic regular practice and courage, 100%. So Olympic style weightlifting is a particular sports in the Olympics. That's why it's called Olympic style weightlifting, and you've seen it in the Olympics. It's got two lifts. They have very funny names called the snatch and the clean and jerk. Usually people picture this, huge men doing it, like
Yeah.
300-pound men doing it. It's probably because those people are lifting the heaviest weight, so you see clips of that. But there are tiny little women who do it as well. They're all weight classes, and both males and females. And so I found this sport when I found fitness, and I started working with a national level coach who's now an international level coach. And this was 13 years ago, I believe now. And I've been doing it ever since. And so I was 34 years old when I started. And so that's pretty late to start any sport, but I was actually quite good at it. And they have age classes as well. So that put me in the master's category already at that point. And one day, as I'm like still just learning, just reading that comment. One day, as I was still learning the lifts, you're always learning, really, but they're very, very technical. The Olympic style weightlifting is very technical. And I saw this sign in my coach's weightlifting gym that said "The Bad Girl Open," and I went, "What is that? The Bad Girl Open?" And he says, "Oh, it's a competition. Want to do it?" And I said, "It's called the Bad Girl Open. I have to do it."
Yeah.
So that was my first competition, and I think I placed third place. So I medaled even in the first competition, and then I was hooked. And so continued weightlifting, continued competing for the next 10 years or so. And yes, I have won the national championship in my age group in masters level, many, many medals. It's something I love doing. I miss a barbell if I go for any period more than like a week without lifting. And it is a daily practice and courage, Every single lift you make, except for maybe your earliest warm-up weights, you're not sure if you're going to make it, even if you've made it before. Every single time is sort of, can I do this? It's a fantastic practice. I imagine that anyone else, and I don't know if anyone watching can vouch for this, but I imagine that lots and lots of sports are like that, that involve that courage every single day. And it's a huge benefit to doing things like that, So yeah, I don't know if you have specific questions. I'm happy to answer them.
It's what you're talking about is absolutely amazing. The fact that you did something, you're still doing something after all these years, which technically in physical sports, people only tend to do it for a certain period of time, don't they? They don't sort of like continue doing it forever.
I suppose it depends on the sport. Yeah, I will never stop this one. I really won't. So I'm looking like I'm a few years away from 50, and I'm not sure I ever want to compete again, but I do kind of figure that after 50, if I'm still as strong as I am, which I'm proud to be as strong as I am, I might go back and, I've made records in the past and stuff, so I might, want to, that's all ego. I will say that. The medals and the records are all ego. So if I'm feeling that, then I might go back and do that. But otherwise, I truly just enjoy it every day. I lift several times a week, and it's a super important part of my life.
Yeah, Graham says he was a long distance runner, and that's your lot. Yeah, I was a sprinter. That was my lot.
Yeah, really. I don't generally promote tell people go do physical sports. It's not like part of my brand or anything, but I really do think that, of course, our physical health impacts our business and life success, of course. But I think that I think that physical challenges absolutely build courage, and that's not to say that other types of challenges don't, but it's one aspect of how to build courage, which again, I think is just key to success, is being
Yeah,
courageous.
exactly. And when you get people, clients coming to see you, how do you get them to have the courage? Because I'm guessing some will come with lots of, or maybe too much, and then others will come with absolutely none. How do you get that balance for them?
Yeah, that's a good question. In some way, I kind of am exclusive. I think in our businesses, it's really important. I think one of the parts of taking leadership of your business is deciding, who am I really here to serve? Who do my gifts help the most? And including them, and deciding to exclude others. In my case, I've created a framework that there with 4 levels of a transformational business. And the very bottom level I call wobbly. And for me, a wobbly business is one where the owner has not yet practiced courage and just gone out and tried things and tried to get clients. So it's usually very, very new businesses, but some people get stuck there. It can be heart-wrenching for me to see. Some people can spend a lot of time spinning wheels, and usually I'm going to say the lack of courage, how it shows up is in folks who are quite fixated on their lack. They're fixated on what they don't have. And they think, well, if I just have this great website, and if I just have this great branding, and if I just have this, if I just have more social media presence, all these I just need this, and then I'll get clients. And really, it's almost never true. Like, I've talked to folks, and that's not what they need. They need just to take courageous action. And so in the beginning, when somebody's first starting a business, I truly think you don't need anything really to go get your first clients. And that's that first courageous step that you need to get the feedback of, even working with one person gives you this feedback and gives you this confidence. Even if things go wrong, it's still like, okay, this is working, this is not, right? And then you do it again. And you have to just be scrappy. I really think that in the beginning, people just need to be scrappy and do whatever it takes. There's many different ways that somebody could go about trying to get their first clients. So I don't take wobbly businesses. So that's what I do, is I exclude them, and I'm pretty clear about that in my messaging and who I do work with. So I work with folks who have already displayed that courage in some way. And I look for signs of that. And most of all, I look for signs of, they have had clients and they have helped their clients reach their own goals, that they're really good at what they do. That's actually part of one of the hallmarks of people I work with, is they're really, really good at their service. And so that has to already be proven before I accept them into my program, because I am not teaching them how to be good at their service. I am teaching them how to package their services to serve their clients even more deeply. So one of the features of one of the hallmarks of the program I run is called the Business Revolution Academy. And many of the students that come into that program are at the time they enter, are selling their services in single sessions or in packs of sessions. And one of the things that I teach them how to do is to create a journey for their clients. So instead of a session by session approach, which kind of is a road to, like, if I'm a client in a session by session approach, I don't really know where we're going. It's just session by session, right? It's not goal based. It's not a journey that I'm on. It's not very streamlined. And so I teach my clients how to build that journey. And, in business, we would call that packaging. So how to package their services to really provide a journey for their clients and truly get them real results that they're after. And so that ends up being an opportunity for my clients to work so much more deeply with their clients than they ever have before. And yet they already were really good at it, but this is making it even better. So does that answer your question? I essentially have filters in place, and that's another thing that I teach. Another hallmark of my programs is that I teach sales, and I teach something called the predictable sales system. And part of the predictable sales system, this is a system for practitioners and service providers to predictably turn their leads into prospects, into clients. And part of that system is understanding who are the right people for you and who are not, and very consciously weeding out the people who are not a fit. That's part of what is, again, takes courage for people, because many business owners are in a scarcity frame of mind where they want to serve any prospective client that shows up, and they'll twist themselves into a pretzel to be what that person wants them to be. And we instead, in the Business Revolution Academy, stand up as leaders. We stand up for what we believe in and make it really clear what we believe in, who we're for, and what kind of change we're trying to make into the world to attract the people who are just right for that and repel and filter out the ones who are not.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing, and it's a brilliant way that you're doing it, and the fact that you know is that you're, you know, that women are actually going for businesses and courage as well. You know, you've done your own one, and of course, because this is International Women's Day, not that we should have a day for it, because we're International Women every day. But it's nice to be recognised. So, who would you say would be who was your biggest inspirational female?
Wow.
And whilst you're thinking, everyone else who's watching as well, write in the comments who your biggest inspirational female was, because it'll be lovely to hear.
Yeah, that's such a good question, Ray, because if you asked me that question and didn't put the female qualifier on that, the interesting thing is I've been very influenced by men. And it's something that I'm aware of and look at. I would say what comes to me right now is Nina Simone, the singer.
Yeah.
A very strong woman, outspoken. I think I have experienced what I think she did too, which is outspoken women can often receive a bit of hate for being strong, and outspoken, because it goes against what feminine and women are supposed to be in patriarchy. And I love her music. I just love her music. So that's who comes to mind. Yeah.
Yeah. And Georgie says that Helen Reddy is her inspirational woman. I was actually talking about that earlier, and I don't have a particular woman. Mine really is sort of like my mum and the females in my mum's family, because they're all really quite strong. But females that have been around me, and really the women I'm with every day. And doing this show, I have been inspired so by literally every guest I've had is literally an inspiration. And it's like when I hear their stories, their journeys, what they do, and I'm kind of like, oh my God, that is so amazing. So I think I'm really blessed in that I get to meet inspirational women all the time. And that so when people ask me that one, I kind of like go, I don't really know actually, because there's just so many.
That's a good answer. I love your answer. I think that's wonderful, and I think it points to the fact that yes, there are, I don't want to say like nameless, because you can name these women, but
oh my God, yeah,
are amazing.
We just don't have time.
Yeah, there are amazing, inspirational women everywhere. And I also love that you refer to your family and ancestors, and I have to say I draw from that as well, in my own spirituality. I mean, just knowing the lineage that none of us would be here without women.
Yeah, exactly. We just we just wouldn't, you know. And you go back, you know. Well, Earth, she's a mother. Earth is a mother. Um, and Graham says, my mother was a rescue medium, and because of her, I followed my dream, became an intuitive medium. In fact, Graham's going to be on my show in May. This is a purely factual point. Also, she was a woman who helped change the terminology of special needs, impaired persons, etc., which is absolutely brilliant. And Marion says, yes, we do all inspire each other.
Yeah,
And Graham says 100%, and that's it. I think it is sort of like looking around other women around you and saying, oh my god, even the the woman that's bringing up 3 kids by herself, that's inspirational, the fact that she's able to do that.
oh, absolutely. Yeah,
It's absolutely amazing about how much inspiration is around us, when you actually look for it.
yeah.
And I can imagine when you're doing the bodybuilding as well, sorry, not the bodybuilding, the weightlifting, the women there must be quite inspiring as well, you know, especially as you were saying, you know, small ladies and
Yeah, and I will say I'm inspired by the fact that you know brought up all the women that you get to interview, and just again, it's a reminder to me that we're all around us are inspirational people, even though they may not have platforms to have their voices heard. That really just amazing stuff happening all the time. In the sport of weightlifting happens to be a very supportive sport, in at least locally, in that, you know, yes, you are competing against others if you're competing, but for the most part, people are competing against themselves. For the most part, when somebody is lifting, they're just trying to do their best, maybe make their own personal record, and it's really not about beating someone else. And so is tons of support and cheering for each other, and we get to do it every day in training. You know when somebody's going for a hard lift and everybody else stops what they're doing and stands back and watches the person on the platform. There's a bit of pressure, but that's kind of part of the sport. Yeah. And this is in training. This is just in training even, but you're cheering each other on, and you're so happy when somebody else gets to, you know, make a personal record, or even just complete a heavy lift, you know. So so thank you for reminding me that that we can be inspired by people all around us. Yes.
You're
kudos
welcome.
to the women of the world, going back all the generations of humanity.
Exactly, yeah, and all humans are equal. It takes away segregation, and true is about making yourself feel better for yourself. It totally is, and it's not seeing other people, especially and women are quite can be quite bad at this, is seeing you know, as competition, because really everyone's on this planet, on this earth together. There's more than enough for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other side of the competition is, if there's competition and wanting to be better than someone else, the other side is just comparison, and which I think oftentimes as women we use to make ourselves feel bad.
Yeah,
we're not as good as her. She's doing so well. She looks so great in this way. She's making this much money. She's this successful. She has this. She has this. I don't. Right? Doesn't serve any of us at all. And it takes courage to actually recognize those patterns, and that we can stop them, you know, in ourselves.
yeah, Yeah, absolutely amazing, and yeah, it's brilliant that you brought that up. So as you know, I do angel oracle card readings and guided meditations. So each week I like to ask my guests what they would like for themselves and those watching. So Joanna, what would you like me to do?
Remind me the choices or the
Uh, I can pull an angel oracle card for you and those watching, or I can do a guided meditation for you and those watching.
yeah, let's pull a card.
Okay, funny enough, I've got them in my hand. And the beauty with the cards is each week the what comes out normally ties in with the show. So I'm really interested to see what actually comes out this week. And of course, when I do the cards, I do the cards for what you need to know in your present for your highest good. So although I work with past life stuff, we heal the past so that we can concentrate on the present. And although we go into the future to see where we're going and how we're getting there, it brings it back to the present because that's where we really should be, is grounded in the present, which again, when you do the weightlifting, you're grounded in the present.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's so. What does Joanna and everyone who is watching, actually, that one's absolutely perfect. Taken shelter. The answers are within.
Hmm.
That so it's really sort of like saying to a confirmation of what we've been talking about, but also for yourself and those watching, is that now is the time to just go within and see what answers are there. They're giving you the answer, the courage to actually take a step and do what you want to do. That's better for you. Don't just take the word of everyone around you. Go inside and actually take that step for what is good for you.
Yeah.
And that so,
Perfect.
so it's brilliant that that card has uh, come out. So Graham has said, uplift a person, not put them down. Um, this is what matters. Georgie says, awesome, so true. Graham says, be a light for others. Absolutely. There's so much we can do. So Joanna, before we go, do you have any insights or thoughts to leave our viewers?
Um, I think I just want to go deeper with the card
Yeah,
and with the interpretation there, and just note that yeah, the answer being within you, and what you were saying about taking care of yourself, going after what is right for you. You know, I think so much of the time we think that somehow that's selfish. If we're here to serve others, we think, no, we ignore our own needs. This is about serving others. And it's really the opposite and the reverse, that when you follow your own inner guidance and inner wisdom and take care of yourself first, that you have so much greater capacity to serve others and to bring your gifts to the world. Um, and I think that that's essential, that you take care of yourself in order to be able to serve others.
absolutely beautiful words to leave on. And Jane said, yeah, she loves the card and that, which is brilliant. So I hope everyone that you've enjoyed this conversation and found it insightful, and that the words of wisdom that Joanna has given you will help you further on your journey. So Joanna, if people want to connect with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, probably the best way would be to go to my website, which is joannasapir.com. So Joanna, SAPIR.com. And for any practitioners or coaches in business, there is a free webinar there called 5 Shifts to Get Long-Term Clients and Steady Predictable Income. And that's a nice bit of content there for any of those folks. And otherwise, if you're not a practitioner and just want to say hi, I'm on Facebook, Joanna Sapir.
Excellent, and I'll post those links in the comments anyway for you. And Marion says, lovely card, thank you both." And Graham says, "That removes the inner barriers that hide your inner light." Absolutely and totally. So, if you have reached that crossroads in your life and you'd like some help and guidance in finding your destiny and getting clear on your path, then I would love to be that guide for you. So, please feel free to reach out and connect with me, and we can arrange a free 20 to 30-minute video call to find out if I can actually help you on your journey. And of course, if you want to join Angel Wings membership community, then please do check out the link. It's a chance where you get to grow with ascended masters, archangels, gods, goddesses, oracle cards, and other members to actually spread your wings and soar. And of course, I do have a weekly newsletter that if you go to my website, you can sign up for, get a free relaxation, meditation, and a couple of other free gifts on there. And if you are looking at like a change of career or adding something to your existing business, then I am running a Future Life Progression Practitioners Workshop on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of April. I only have 2 places left. So if you are interested, again, check out the link below. And of course, thank you so, so much for watching. And I'd like to invite you to share this video, as I'm sure there are more women who feel lost and want to get clear on their destiny just like you. And if you are watching on YouTube, then please do subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when the show goes live. And of course, for all those that have commented both on Facebook and YouTube, either today or watching the replay until Friday, you will be going I will be asking you if you want to go into a draw to be one of 10 people to win a free Angel Oracle card reading with me, which is more than just one card. It's a proper reading. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Joanna. It's been brilliant chatting to you and for you bringing your wisdom to us. So thank you to everyone watching. Thank you, Joanne. And I will see you all same time, same place next week. Take care. Bye.